Hey Vals, it's me G. Before we get started, I kind of want to explain this video. So basically, ever since I was like 7, I've been obsessed with this movie, Twilight. I read the books, watched the movies, had a Twilight birthday party, etc. Safe to say, I was obsessed. The story of Isabella Swan and her sparkly boyfriend is set to take place in the town of Forks, Washington. So this year, my dad took me there to look at all of the Twilight-themed spots. They didn't actually film the movies in Forks, but there were still tons of locations with Twilight-themed items, which is why I decided to vlog it for you all. This is my very first vlog on this channel, and I don't really think I'm going to be making any more, to be honest. Yeah. By the way, pretty much this whole video is just a voiceover, so it might not be as entertaining, but like I said, I'll be posting a Roblox video soon, I promise. Okay guys, so the first store was called Native to Twilight. It is right across from the Twilight Museum. Whenever we arrived, the Twilight Museum was actually closed. So we just went into some shops. They had tons of cardboard cutouts and figurines too. You know, the figurines are important. And they had a ton of Forks themed stuff. On one side of the store, they had mostly Twilight items. And then on the other side, they had just kind of like some of the traditional Forks things, I guess. Over here are actually these like really cute sweatshirts. I got that light gray one and it's like my new favorite thing. Here we actually have some hats, which I thought were pretty cool if you're like a hat person. They also had some awesome t-shirts and these dream catchers. They were so expensive, but if they were cheaper I would have bought one because it reminds me of the like one that Jacob gave to Bella, even though I don't like Jacob. Next we went to the beach, and as some Twilight fans might know, in the movies it is called La Push. In the first movie, Bella goes there, but the vampires can't go there because it's past the treaty line, which means I was part of the werewolf reservation. So only werewolves and humans were allowed on this beach in the movies. It was so pretty here. I loved it so much. We stayed here for like a decent amount of time too because we were just enjoying like the weather and obviously like the beautiful beach with the waves and the sand. I actually found this rock that low-key kind of reminded me of a werewolf head. Can you see it? I don't know, but I picked it up. Then, you know, I'm a vampire girly, so I had to mark my territory on the werewolf land, you know. Yeah, I think it was beautiful right there. Yep. Best part, guys. Yeah, but we also took some pictures and we had a lot of fun, but eventually your girl, like, she got hungry, so we started looking around, like, started searching for a restaurant after getting in the car, you know. But we actually came across the treaty borderline sign, which is honestly so cool. It has a whole thing that says welcome Twilight fans, and you're able to actually sign it. So of course your girl had to sign it, and it said no vampires beyond this point, which was kind of iconic because of like the movies, although low-key wish that I was a vampire, so you know. Then here I am signing it. I put it down as SiimplyHalloween, so like my YouTube name, and then I also added a hashtag Team Edward because that was just a necessity, and there were way too many people writing Team Jacob on the sign. Maybe it's because it was like past there only werewolves were allowed or something. I don't know, man, I don't know. But then I also added my signature at the end as well. Right next to the borderline sign, they actually have this really nice restaurant called the Three Rivers. Chat and my Coke. Inside, they had a ton of awesome menu items, including some that were Twilight themed, such as the Sunshade Lemonade, Midnight Milkshake, Vampire Milkshake, Jacob Black Milkshake, and the Bella Banana Split. And also they had a ton of like Twilight posters in this little back hidden area, which I thought was pretty cool. Also, I apologize if you can hear my dog in the background. But anyways, they also had the real Billy Black sign and item back there. This is what I got. I was a 5-year-old, literally, and I got chicken tenders. And then my dad got like a burger and fries too. Honestly, it was really good, but there wasn't anything like too crazy about it, you know? So I'd give it like a 7.5 out of 10. And we also got the Bella Sundae, but instead of whipped cream, we got gummy worms instead to replace it. Next up, we went on our way to the Visitors Center in Forks, Washington. They had some Twilight things there as well, but my favorite, of course, was Bella's truck. They had a orange truck, obviously, which was her real truck from the movie, and next to it was a red truck, which I do believe is based off of maybe more so like the books or something. That's my theory. I don't know. I didn't really read much into it. But it was just so cool to know that like they had been in this truck. Like, isn't that crazy? Had to knock on there to see if Edward Cullen was in there, you know, but no, I didn't find anything. Anyways, they also had my girl Chuck Esme on the door, but they were closed that day, so we had to come back the next day, which was perfectly fine, you know. Your girl was in there for 2 days, but this is what we actually saw inside whenever we did come in. They had some little gifts. My favorite was the Chuck Esme backpack, of course. They had Edward, Jacob, all sorts of different things for every single team. Of course, I had to get a Team Edward shirt. And outside of the visitor center, they do have a map of like some Twilight-themed things and other things as well, but I mean, obviously your girl's only looking for the Twilight stuff. And I overheard the people at the visitors center telling people that over 75% of their visitors are only there for Twilight stuff, and honestly, I don't know how to feel about that. That's kind of iconic, but it's kind of sad too. They had such a beautiful area out here as well, but I mean, I just still can't believe that Kristen Stewart, Robert Pattinson, and Taylor Lautner sat in that truck and I was next to it. Next, we had to head on our way back to the place and get a good night's rest. Once we woke up, we went to go have breakfast at this place called The Place. It was actually really cool. It had a really nice woodsy vibe to it, which reminded me of Twilight, and they had a very good menu for breakfast, obviously. And also our seating, it was so pretty. Like, the lighting was just amazing. Like, your girl was living for it. It kind of reminded me of the Carver Cafe from Twilight, but that's actually in Oregon, which I do want to go to one day. They also had this little like pamphlet thing of different things that you could do in Forks. Some things Twilight related, some things non-Twilight related, you know. And then here was my food. I'm not really like a food vlogger usually, but your girl had to do it for the vlog. I got pancakes with eggs and bacon, and then my dad got sausage, hash browns, that kind of stuff. Then after that, we had to start making our way towards the Twilight Museum because we did have a reservation for it. But on our way, we did actually stop at this store. It was called like the Twilight Corner or something, and they had tons of Twilight themed stuff. They really loved that Forks had become known for Twilight, and they were super duper nice in there also, which was pretty fun. And they had a lot of cool mugs and everything, and something really cool was that the Hollywood Productions parody was filmed here. I've definitely seen that more than a few times. Pretty sure that I've rewatched it quite recently too. And they also had some little characters that you could get pictures with. They had some more t-shirts, all sorts of really fun things, and my girl Victoria was hiding in the back there for some reason, obviously. Then they also had some scrapbook paper, which I did buy some of that so I can hopefully make a scrapbook later on. Here's a closer look at the details on the Hollywood parody, and the actual like the arch that they used for their parody is the one in the store, and they let them keep it. Next up, we went to this Bigfoot themed store. They did have some Twilight stuff, but they were mainly focused on like Bigfoot, and honestly guys, look at that little face, it's just so cute. And they had tons of places where you could get photos and everything, and just so many shirts and all sorts of stuff like that, so that was pretty awesome to see there. Right here they had some magnets, obviously a ton of Forks fun, get it, Forks and Forks. But the one that stuck out to me was this one at the bottom. It was like Bigfoot driving an orange truck. Like, you can't tell me that they didn't purposefully do that in honor of Twilight, right? Anyways, they had a little Sasquatch photo booth with this version of their Sasquatch, you know, just chilling there. And then over here is where they had some more t-shirts, obviously, and this is also where the Twilight stuff kind of began. So if you walked through here, they'd have some magnets and those really, really expensive t-shirts. Like, who made that so expensive? No, oh my gosh, it was almost like $40 for a t-shirt. No thank you, because they weren't even that good of quality, bro. But they did actually have this cute little tote bag, which reminded me of the design on Bella's blanket in Twilight, which I thought was pretty cool. And my girl Chuck Esme, of course. If you guys don't know the little story about Chuck Esme, basically they created this doll that was supposed to be the baby of Renesmee in the Twilight movies, and she ended up just looking too creepy to everybody, and the whole point of Twilight was for Renesmee to not be as scary as people thought that she was going to be, because obviously not many people have heard of a half human and half vampire baby, you know, like people started to think that she was going to be like the devil, so the whole point was that she wasn't. So if they used a creepy doll, then that would have been weird. But they ended up replacing her with some creepy AI, which was just better for sure. Then over here we have this really cheap recreation of Bella's blanket. Yeah, if you don't know the iconic scene where Charlie's like, oh, do you like purple? And she's like, yeah, purple's cool. That's what I'm talking about. They also had some more Chuck-esme stuff, and I saw this little jersey and I kind of wanted it, but then I didn't get it. I also thought that this backpack was really cute until I saw that it said Team Jacob. Ew, no thank you, I'm gonna have to pass. They also had some really cute ornaments though, so if you're an ornament person, that was really fun. I ended up walking out of there with a Chuck-esme pin that my dad bought for me, and I actually got two. One of them is for my backpack, and one of them, as you could see, I was wearing it. We finally made it to the museum. They had a ton of stuff ready in like the windows, which was pretty cool. Here's the rules and everything if you're interested, you know, in coming here. When you walk inside, the first thing that you can see is Alice's drawings from the movies, well, the first movie anyways, which I honestly thought was pretty cool. They had tons and tons and tons of the costumes from the movies. Like right here we have some of Bella's, and over here we had the actual chairs from the wedding scene, which was super iconic. They also had a little photo booth area that you could take pictures in. And then back to the costumes, here was James's costume, which I thought was pretty cool to see. And also we have Victoria as well, of course. And once you go over there, then you'll actually start to see Jacob's motorcycle. But this is my favorite part. It was the Lion and the Lamb scenes outfits, which I love so much because that was like my favorite scene in Twilight. Yeah, but here's a closer look at Jacob's motorcycle if you're interested. And we also have the quilt blanket in the back from the movies. And of course, my amazing husband, Edward Cullen. Oh, there's Riley Beers too, I guess. But Edward, look at Edward. He's so beautiful. Okay, then we have the Jacob werewolf little paper thingy McBobber, and I also really like to see Renesmee's costume. I thought that was pretty fun to see, and also the Volturi's costume. That was really awesome. They also made this brand new like quilt sort of thing of the Twilight characters, and it was so detailed, like it was amazing. Of course, all my favorite parts were the ones with Eddie on it though, right? Anyways, here's my girl Chuck-esme. Oh my gosh, I had to get a selfie with her, obviously. Yeah, she's my new best friend, in case you're wondering. Chuck-esme and I, we go way back now. There's a little details on that quilt, and we also have all of the Twilight books in all sorts of different languages from all sorts of different countries, which I thought was so cool that they had this here. Honestly, it was so amazing to see how many different versions there were of the Twilight books. Like, oh my gosh. Here we actually had Charlie Swan's police department chair, which I already know that all of us girlies were fangirling over, because who wouldn't fangirl over Charlie Swan? Nobody, exactly, that's what I'm saying. Over here we actually have a recreation of the wedding set. So no, this isn't actually part of the wedding set, but it was a recreation by a fan who had a similar little situation there. Then we had some signed posters and just some more autographs from the cast and the director, who apparently came in there more frequently than you might think. Over here we have some of the stuff from Jacob's tribe, which was really cool. It was like a little Jacob area for sure, with all of the werewolf related stuff. So if that was kind of like your thing, then that was definitely your section. Over here they also had some more things with just some of the like basic treasures, you know, and some things from the Volturi. And I thought that was pretty cool how they had like all the Volturi things included as well in the museum. Honestly, just the whole museum was so fun to look at. This whole trip was so amazing and I'm so grateful for it. Yeah, but that's pretty much it. Remember to stay vibrant, accept others, and stay loyal to your friends, guys. I love you guys so much. Remember to stay safe and stay spooky. I'll see you guys next time. Toodles!